Today we're visiting Rupert, who started Grounded Permaculture, a non-for-profit community organisation hinged around the ethics and principles of permaculture. The focus is all around connection to country, community and culture.
My name's Rupert, and nearly a decade ago I started this organisation called Grounded Permaculture Action Party. It's a not-for-profit community organisation, very much about regenerating our sacred connection to country, community and culture. A few years into it, we realised we needed to find a base where we could really ground ourselves and do this thing, practice permaculture. And I came up with this idea for a regenerative living hub, which is essentially like share house living on rural land in alignment with the landlord's values and vision. So here we are, looking after this place. We've been here for 6 years now. And it's very much a place to grow food, family, community and culture. That's like grounded in the earth. So we grow a lot of food here, and we host some community events and gatherings and down on the creek flat. And yeah, that's pretty much it. One of the guys here kind of framed it as a botanical ark. We don't have any animals here. I think someone's got a dog. Most of us are all plant people, and it's a botanical ark. So we're literally just getting stuff in the ground, stuff that wants to grow, stuff that produces food, fiber, shelter and medicine, essentially. So that's what we're doing. We've got lots of different types of bananas and citrus and like just anything and everything that we can get growing and is perennial and is low maintenance. Yeah, that's kind of what we've got going on. So everyone has their own personal gardens. We have the swales and orchards that are maintained on the property budget, and then we have like this community garden behind me that's done on a voluntary blitz-based initiative. And down at the creek flat as well, that's a similar garden down there. I grew up on acreage, but we didn't really have this focus on food. And after I did my time in the city with university and working and doing music and stuff for a while, I had this big call to get back on the land, but to really focus on growing food. I'm kind of like realizing, I didn't realize it till my son came along, that yeah, I'm largely doing this to take his childhood to the next level, right? So I grew up in rural land, but we didn't really have this focus on growing food. And so now I've created a situation where my son is also on rural land, but there is a big focus on growing food. When it comes to growing food, there's a method that we follow and are inspired by and sort of integrate into all our plant management stuff, which is syntropic agroforestry or syntropic farming. And that is more of a form of production. Like that is very specifically focused on production, primary production through plants and photosynthesis. And then that can extend out and include animals in that as well. But it's very much like focused on that key mechanism of maximizing photosynthesis, converting that into biomass, and that biomass either feeding the system or being utilized as food, fiber, medicine. Yeah, food, fiber and medicine, essentially.
All right, I want to come and look at this community garden.
Let's have a look.
What's going on here?
So this is our community garden, and it really is just driven by voluntary spurts of batch action. So I kind of lead it or drive it, and I'll say, all right, everyone, we're going to plant some garlic or harvest garlic, and we'll round, whoever's keen will come and get in and do what we have to do. So this is a row of garlic we've got here. That was planted pretty much at the end of April. And
when's that likely to come out?
Well, the rule of thumb that I learnt since getting here with garlic is plant on Anzac Day and harvest on Remembrance Day. Plant it once it starts getting cold, but it's still a bit moist to get everything germinating. And then, pull it out in November, around that time. You kind of keep a gauge on it. So this is the Russian garlic or elephant garlic. That's the only garlic we can grow here, basically.
Yeah, okay.
We've got some cabbage. So it's just seedlings that I bought from the store because I really like sauerkraut.
Oh,
And
It's great.
vitamin U, right? I had stomach ulcers as a teenager, and the naturopath said vitamin U, you get that from cabbage.
Wow.
And then it's also available in the sauerkraut with the probiotics. And so I kind of go to a bit of effort to try and grow cabbages. I still haven't mastered it in the way that I've mastered, say, taro or ginger or bananas.
Yep.
Something that they're more suited to this climate, so it's a lot easier to grow them really well. But cabbage is a little bit more finicky.
Yes.
But they still work. It still works, but it's just not
Up to your standard,
everyone
maybe.
thriving, it's like you imagine the best cabbage that you could possibly imagine, right? It's like thick and lush and there's no bugs. Haven't got that yet.
Not quite yet. If it was perfect from the get-go, it wouldn't be interesting, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It would be, I mean, it would be lovely if everything worked perfect, but it probably would be a little boring, maybe.
Well, yes and no. I mean, some things work perfect here.
Yeah.
Like the taro is just incredible. And it's like my favorite root vegetable. And it just grows so easy. And same with ginger. I just stuck them together one year. I thought, hey, they'll grow really well together. And they have, and I'm about 2 or 3 years in now of that cycle. And it just keeps multiplying.
Yeah, wow.
So, it's
best
something like
friends.
that. It's like when you stumble across it and it does grow perfectly, that's the thing
You
to
leave
double
it.
down on.
Yeah.
Just like keep doubling down on that. So taro, ginger, bananas, they're kind of the main tickets here. Look at it, it's just loaded, this whole row. Ginger, taro.
Yeah, wow.
These are ready to come out soon. You can see it's all starting to yellow.
Yeah.
And the leaves, this is all starting to die back as well. So it's getting to the time to harvest it. So we've talked about why I think they go really well together, because they have the same life cycle. They go in spring. This is getting close to the time for harvesting. And that's basically a quick harvest there. These are all the pups that I can then do as new plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's probably a bit small. This was the one I planted last year. That's probably a bit tough now to eat. Cut the top off. I could even have cut that a little bit lower and then replanted that. It would reshoot from all the nodes on the side of it. But that's pretty much good to go now, ready to eat. So you can see the eyes and the nodes coming out the side. So if I had a cut below that, I could have just replanted the top as well. You've got to cook it. It's really important that you cook the taro and it's got to be cooked properly, because it has, I think it's the oxalic acid. They're like little glass shards that that act like glass if you don't cook it properly, and they kind of like burn and tickle your tongue and throat. But not deadly, just really annoying, painful.
Yeah.
So make sure it's cooked properly. My favorite way to cook it is to cube it up, boil it until it's just soft, parboil, and then roast it. And you end up with like taro nuggets, gems. Like potato gems, how they're really soft and mashy inside. That's how you get the taro like that. Or boil it and make a mash. Same thing. So that's all grown. I'll take off one little node. That's all I need to do to replant, and the rest I can use, make ginger beer or sell it on. And when it comes to replanting, all I do is add a bit of compost and a thick layer of sugarcane mulch, put it all in there, and then it just all pops up. The mulch basically breaks down over the whole season, and then I come through and it's just really easy to harvest it all now over winter.
So you've got this here,
Yep.
but you've also got lots going on around.
Yeah, so before we got here, the owner actually spent quite a lot of money, got Jeff Lawton out here, did a design, and Jeff designed all the roads, the dams, and all the swales. So there's about 1 kilometre of swales here.
Wow.
Under various states of regeneration, you might say. They were a bit neglected when we got here, so we've sort of been working our way through them, and the ones closest to the houses get the most love. But they're fully loaded with mostly a lot of citrus. We've then retrofitted and added banana and avocado and jackfruit and just all these other fruit trees. So there's the swales, a couple of orchards. There's another zone over here that our newest resident on our residency program, Trav, looks after. And you know, it's taken a bit of work to refine what we are about, because when we first got here it was like an idea that we hadn't tested, and as we've tested it, it's become much more refined in who we're bringing in and how we attract it. And now it's literally through this residency program where, you know, someone will come in and we train them up to be able to look after systems like this. And yeah, we just keep sort of expanding and putting in new syntropically inspired systems around the place. So there's one that we looked at there before that was just planted in October and it's only 8 months old. And then there's other systems that are, say, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6 years old here. So it's all at different stages, and we just keep growing and keep refining, getting better at, you know, how we're doing it.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I think we're going to have to go have a chat with Trav, because it sounds like he's got something really special.
Yeah, definitely
happening.
do that.
So, well, thank you so much for having us.
Cool.
Yeah, can't wait to see. I'll have to come back and see, even in the next couple of years, what
yeah, definitely, and come along to one of our events.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're also on Hip Camp if you just wanted to come on your own time as well.
So Trav, you're one of those a part of the community here. What is your role and involvement?
So I'm one of the crazy plant people. I think majority of us are crazy plant people, but I'm one of the creative plant people. I love to just be in the garden and add value to this place that I know is gonna not only feed me, but feed other people within the place. Yeah, I'm just fortunate enough to just be able to play in this spot. But we do have events here as well, and we all kind of have our own thing that we do. You know, we fill the spaces when we need. But yeah, sometimes I'll do that with holding little permaculture action things, you know, within the swales and, you know, even my area sometimes. But
how did you find out about this and find yourself here?
I met Didge. I don't know if he's been mentioned, but he lives here, and he's another crazy plant person. And he saw me planting out a garden with a guy just on the side of the road, and he had to stop and introduce himself, and that's how I met him. And through him, I was introduced to Grounded, and yeah, I just followed Grounded for a while, and I saw Rupert post a residency program, and at the time, I had been feeling like I need to get back on some land again. I was working a warehouse job and was like, yeah, it's making more money, but somehow I'm not getting on top, you know? So I just need to forget all that and just get quiet again and get on the land. Yeah, and that post came up and I applied and I got it. And now I'm here, and yeah, we're doing regen across the road, and then I get to just play here when I'm not doing that. It's really good. Yeah, this has kind of opened up my creative side again and given me the quiet time to really just get introspective again, and to just, I don't know, I feel so full. Life just feels full.
Personally, you know, I find that there's nothing better than getting out on land and growing your own food and being involved in that space. And it's just a different, you know, unfortunately it is difficult to make money being on the land unless you're in a good situation.
Yeah,
but it fills your cup.
Yeah, which is, and honestly, the way things are kind of set up, it's an adjustment, but we're not making much, but we're able to live happily. We forget money is not happiness, and maybe it can be. I don't know, I haven't known that yet, but you know, I'm paying less rent. That is possible because I'm adding value to the land. So it's like 5 hours self-guided stuff. I do a lot more than that. Yeah, it's good. It's just a restructuring of how you see things and how you live. Yeah.
I guess lower costs, living costs mean that you can spend your time here. Whereas normally if you're living in the city, you have to work a lot and earn a lot, because that's just the median there. So
you got to buy the food, you got to pay the rent, you got to pay the fuel to get here and there, and it's so perfect to go right across the road for work, to have so much food here, you know. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And behind us, this is your dedicated patch. I'd love to see a bit more. Should we go and take a walk?
Cool, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so what have we got going on here?
So I've got lots of little plinias, lots of artocarpus fruits, and some garcinias. So got lemon drop mangosteen. My favorites are the plinias. So right there's Plinia oriana, which is a white jaboticaba. And on the edges, I have Eugenias. I've put them in a way so when they get big, they can cross-pollinate, and I could potentially make new varieties with them.
Oh, wow.
And actually the Plinias as well, that's why I've got them. So yeah, another Plinia,
wow.
another Jaboticaba. So I think I've got 5 or 6 varieties. And everything's really small. I'm still working with the low strata, so the canna was all just through this, and at one point originally it was rose, so I came up, cleaned it up, left the canna because it's actually helping everything as well. It's keeping moisture in, and it's also giving that first kind of canopy. And yeah, so right here you see a kind of wind and cold damaged Relinia, little baby.
Oh,
And
should survive, right?
yeah, definitely. And you're probably noticing these weeds, or what, you know, a lot of people would call weeds. The castor. I had someone just the other day asking about it, but these things, they play their role in the forest. You know, they're the first kind of colonizers of the soil when there's a disturbance. And what these things do is, again, they help provide that first kind of canopy and also biomass. And when you cut them, it actually sends pulses into the ground for everything else to grow. So I don't know if you know, but you know when you prune a tree, you know how it wants to grow faster.
Yeah.
That pulse isn't designated just to that plant. It's actually within the root zone, and the things nearby get it as well. So I'll pulse through whole areas like this, send that pulse through, and everything else kind of gets this jump.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it's not just the tree that you're pruning, but everything around it also kind of benefits from that, which I guess why that works so well with everything in such close proximity, because you know, if you're pruning a whole bunch of things, then this would just get that whole big boost.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's why in syntropic systems you'll see things very, very dense. You know. Yeah.
What are the other benefits of syntropic growing?
The other benefits?
Yeah.
Well, you're regenerating, you know, the land. You're keeping the soil alive. You're not kind of just working with bare, you know, dead soil that you have to keep fertilizing with chemical fertilizers and all that. So many benefits. You know, you're alleviating the financial pressure of having to buy things in. You're building healthy soil. I think it's just beautiful.
And
as
it
well,
looks
you
cool.
know?
Yeah, exactly. It looks great.
Yeah, and it only gets better and better. You know, once the next strata comes up, I've got some young natives somewhere amongst this, and even more fruit trees that may be sacrificial. Star apple there, but yeah, they'll come up and they'll feed my main trees that I want here. Next summer or the summer after that, you'll see a huge difference if you guys ever come back. I love it. This is such a big playground.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to see this stuff come up, especially the edges, because I envision archways coming in and just these really beautiful walkways of fruit trees, you know, all around, really enclosed.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see it.
That'll be beautiful.
Yeah. This is my outer edge. It will, in the future, be a fruity hedge that people can walk around the outside and just enjoy the fruits. It starts with 2 acerolas, about 2 or 3 meters apart, which move into the feijoas, which move into the peanut butter fruit, and then jaboticabas. And in between, so this is very young, but in between, it'll have ibeca, which is a leafy green you can eat, cranberry hibiscus. There's going to be moringa popping up in the middle of each of the trees, so they'll be right up over the hedges.
Wow.
And the greens, apart from the moringa, they will just fill that space until, you know, the trees really fill out. And next to them, I've got some more tropicals that shouldn't be here, as people say, I guess. Bilimbi, which is hiding amongst the canna, protected. And cacao over there, so it's not in here, but that was dying. I found it at Bunnings, and we'll see. We'll see. I've got a little greenhouse over it. And
are you the type of person that when you see a plant struggling at Bunnings, you have to save it? Or is it very specific?
Specific. It's like people say, you can't grow this tropical here, it's too cold. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to grow that.
Watch me.
Don't tell me what I can and can't grow. Let's just try, you know?
Exactly. Well, thank you for showing me all that you've created. What Rupert, Trav and many others involved here have done is truly something extraordinary. It's all about connection to land, food and community, and I can't wait to see how this all grows in the future.